Terrence Howard has dropped a bombshell in the ongoing Diddy Combs trial, confirming long-suspected dark truths about the tragic death of actress Brittany Murphy. Officially ruled as pneumonia complicated by anemia and drug intoxication, Murphy's sudden passing at just 32 has been surrounded by rumors of foul play for years. Now, Howard reveals that pneumonia might have been a chilling cover-up, a coded euphemism masking a pattern of systemic abuse, manipulation, and toxic exposure orchestrated by powerful figures tied to Diddy's network. His explosive testimony sheds new light on a hidden world where illness was weaponized to silence and control, reigniting fierce debates and calls for justice in a case that has haunted Hollywood for over a decade. The Brittany Murphy tragedy. What we thought we knew. Brittany Murphy was a bright and rising star whose infectious energy and magnetic screen presence captured the hearts of audiences around the world. From her breakout role in Clueless to the gritty realism of 8 Mile, Murphy seemed destined for a long and successful career in Hollywood. Yet behind the spotlight and fame, troubling whispers began to circulate, rumors of health struggles, exhaustion, and unexplained illnesses that few dared to investigate. When Brittany Murphy died suddenly in December 2009 at just 32 years old, the world was left stunned. The official autopsy attributed her death to pneumonia, complicated by anemia, with a contributing factor of multiple drug intoxication. While the medical report offered a neat explanation, the story quickly unraveled as conspiracy theories took root among fans, industry insiders, and investigators alike. Many suspected that there was more lurking beneath the surface: toxic exposure, foul play, or sinister forces that sought to silence her forever. Despite relentless media coverage, Hollywood largely remained tight-lipped. The silence of those closest to Murphy only fueled speculation. To many, her death felt less like a tragic accident and more like a dark secret, deliberately hidden from the public eye. The stage was set for a deeper investigation, but answers remained elusive. Until now. Terrence Howard's explosive revelation. Recently, actor Terrence Howard stepped forward as a critical voice in the ongoing search for truth. Known for his respected career and insider knowledge of the entertainment world, Howard gave a groundbreaking interview and testified in court during the high-profile federal trial of Diddy Combs. His testimony sent shockwaves through the courtroom and beyond, confirming suspicions that had long been whispered behind closed doors. Howard alleged that Brittany Murphy's death was far from accidental. Instead, he painted a chilling portrait of systemic abuse, intimidation, and covert manipulation tied directly to Diddy's expansive network. According to Howard, powerful forces within the music and film industries wielded psychological tactics, invasive surveillance, and toxic environmental factors as weapons to control and silence talented individuals who threatened to expose damaging truths. One of the most startling revelations from Howard's testimony was how pneumonia itself was weaponized, often used as a coded euphemism for a slow, insidious decline brought on by hidden poisonings or forced drug dependencies. This method, he explained, allowed perpetrators to mask their crimes behind plausible medical explanations. Tragically, Murphy was not the only victim of this cruel tactic. Similar unexplained illnesses and deaths in Diddy's orbit suggested a disturbing pattern of abuse. The pneumonia code, a dark pattern of control. Howard's confirmation exposed a terrifying reality. Pneumonia wasn't always what it seemed. Certain toxic substances, when introduced subtly and persistently, could weaken the immune system over time, making victims susceptible to fatal respiratory infections. This covert poisoning created a facade of natural illness, fooling doctors and investigators while the true cause remained hidden. This strategic cover-up granted perpetrators plausible deniability. Behind their untouchable public personas, they could quietly eliminate threats without leaving direct evidence. Brittany Murphy's repeated health setbacks and increasingly isolated behavior fit disturbingly well within this pattern. Adding another layer to this web of control, Howard referenced a secret surveillance operation known in the industry as the black box. Court documents and testimonies have repeatedly mentioned this term, a covert monitoring system used to intimidate, coerce, and silence artists under contract. The black box, Howard claimed, was an instrument of psychological oppression, designed to keep talented individuals like Murphy trapped and powerless. For someone as vibrant and outspoken as Brittany Murphy, becoming ensnared in such an oppressive system would have been devastating. Howard's words revealed how the very environment that was supposed to nurture her talent instead contributed to her downfall. Echoes from the past, parallels with Kim Porter and other victims. Brittany Murphy's tragic death at the age of 32 shocked fans and industry insiders alike. Her vibrant career cut devastatingly short. But as the federal trial of Sean "Diddy" Combs unfolds, it has become painfully clear that Murphy's demise was not an isolated incident. Instead, it appears part of a chilling pattern of systematic targeting of women close to Diddy. Among those is Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner, whose own mysterious death raised troubling questions that have yet to be fully answered. Like Murphy, Porter's official cause of death was attributed to pneumonia and natural causes. However, rumors and unsettling discrepancies have dogged her case, sparking suspicions of foul play and cover-ups. The eerie similarities in their health decline and the official narratives surrounding their deaths have forced investigators and the public alike to reconsider the surface-level explanations. Terrence Howard, a respected actor and industry insider who recently testified in the ongoing Diddy federal trial, provided startling insight into this disturbing pattern. Howard described a covert network operating within the entertainment industry that systematically targeted women close to Diddy, using natural illness, often coded as pneumonia, as a deceptive veil to obscure more sinister causes of death and disappearance. This network allegedly employed tactics ranging from toxic environmental exposure to psychological manipulation, with the express purpose of silencing and controlling individuals who threatened to expose damaging truths. Howard's testimony paints a haunting picture of how power and intimidation are wielded behind closed doors to eliminate perceived threats to Diddy's empire. The parallels between Murphy and Porter's deaths are too stark to dismiss as coincidence. His revelations have reignited urgent calls from advocates, journalists, and loved ones for a thorough re-examination of both women's deaths, for answers that have long been buried beneath layers of secrecy and plausible deniability. This pattern of abuse of power, Howard suggests, extends far beyond individual tragedies. It reflects a systemic mechanism designed to control, manipulate, and suppress those who might challenge the interests of a tightly controlled inner circle. A circle at the heart of Diddy's sprawling influence in music, film, and celebrity culture. Inside the trial, how Howard's testimony fits the bigger picture. The federal trial against Sean "Diddy" Combs has peeled back layers of a ruthless underworld embedded deeply within the entertainment industry's glossy surface. Witnesses have come forward with chilling accounts of witness tampering, obstruction of justice, illegal surveillance, psychological abuse, and coercion. These testimonies reveal a dark side to Hollywood's star-studded facade, where power is maintained not just through influence, but through fear and manipulation. Terrence Howard's testimony adds a deeply personal and harrowing dimension to this narrative. By sharing his insider knowledge about Brittany Murphy's decline and death, he has brought the story of one beloved star into the spotlight as a stark example of the broader abuses at play. Howard described how the term pneumonia became a euphemism within this hidden system, a coded language masking the real causes of illness that were inflicted deliberately through slow-acting toxins or forced drug regimens designed to weaken victims physically and mentally. Prosecutors have embraced Howard's revelations as pivotal, viewing them as critical evidence that highlights the sheer scale and danger of Diddy's operations. His testimony supports the prosecution's claims that the abuses were neither isolated nor accidental, but part of a deliberate, systematic effort to silence dissent and protect a powerful network. As expected, the defense has aggressively sought to undermine Howard's credibility. They emphasize his Hollywood background and past controversies to paint him as a biased or unreliable witness. However, the consistency and detailed nature of his account, corroborated by other testimonies and circumstantial evidence, have made it increasingly difficult to dismiss his claims outright. The trial's unfolding drama has exposed the industry's entrenched culture of silence, complicity, and cover-up, revealing the terrifying lengths to which those in power will go to protect their dominion, even at the cost of human lives. The road ahead: seeking justice and accountability. Howard's confirmation has breathed new life into the quest for justice in Brittany Murphy's case and others like it. The spotlight on Murphy's death has intensified calls for investigators to re-examine forensic evidence, medical records, and toxicology reports, items that may have been overlooked, misinterpreted, or even deliberately suppressed. As the trial progresses, prosecutors are likely to leverage Howard's testimony as a key component in building a case that exposes the full extent of the abuses orchestrated within Diddy's network. The public, meanwhile, is demanding transparency, accountability, and answers after years of unanswered questions and silenced voices. For the families of victims like Murphy and Porter, as well as advocates working within the entertainment industry, this moment holds the promise of long-overdue acknowledgement and redress. There is a growing hope that buried truths will finally surface, that systemic abuses will be confronted head-on, and that Hollywood's toxic underbelly will be brought into the light. Public reaction, social media, and industry buzz. Since Terrence Howard's revelations became public, social media platforms have exploded with renewed interest and fierce debate. Hashtags such as Justice for Brittany and Pneumonia cover-up have surged, reflecting widespread frustration and a hunger for justice. Online forums and fan communities are abuzz with discussions dissecting every detail of Murphy's life and death, connecting dots and sharing theories about the covert networks and manipulations Howard described. Many users express outrage at what they see as a cover-up of a beloved star's untimely demise. Industry insiders who have long harbored fears about speaking out against powerful figures like Diddy are increasingly emboldened. Some have started to break their silence, hinting at long-standing knowledge of abusive practices and covert surveillance that have been tolerated or even enforced to maintain control and profit. This wave of public and industry pressure is sparking conversations about the broader culture of exploitation and secrecy in Hollywood, a system that often prioritizes power over human dignity, especially when it comes to vulnerable artists and women. The broader implications: Hollywood's dark underbelly. Exposed, Terrence Howard's brave decision to come forward transcends the tragedy of Brittany Murphy's death. His testimony shines a harsh light on a systemic rot festering at the heart of celebrity culture. A culture where abuse, coercion, and silence are maintained through psychological manipulation, legal intimidation, and the exploitation of medical narratives. The weaponization of medical conditions like pneumonia to cloak foul play reveals just how far these power structures are willing to go to protect themselves. It exposes an industry machinery where talent is expendable and control is ruthlessly enforced by means that range from insidious to outright violent. Howard's revelations demand a reckoning, not only with the specific crimes alleged, but with the very foundations of how power operates behind Hollywood's closed doors. His testimony is a call to action for industry-wide reform, justice for victims, and a wholesale reevaluation of the systems that allow such abuses to thrive unchecked. As the trial continues, the hope is that the veil of secrecy will finally be torn away, paving the way for a new era where truth and accountability prevail over fear and silence. What comes next? Investigations, trials, and calls for justice. Terrence Howard's testimony has cast a powerful new light on the Brittany Murphy case, compelling investigators to reopen and re-examine the circumstances surrounding her untimely death. Authorities are now expected to dive deeper into forensic evidence, medical records, and toxicology reports that may have been overlooked or intentionally suppressed in the initial investigations. This renewed scrutiny aims to uncover hidden truths and challenge the official narrative that has long framed Murphy's passing as a natural tragedy. The ongoing federal trial against Sean "Diddy" Combs has taken on an even greater significance as prosecutors prepare to use Howard's first-hand insights to bolster their case. His testimony adds critical weight to claims of a systemic pattern of abuse, intimidation, and manipulation orchestrated by Diddy and his network. As the case unfolds, it is likely that additional witnesses will come forward, potentially leading to further criminal investigations and civil suits that expose the full extent of the alleged misconduct. For Brittany Murphy's fans, family, and advocates fighting for justice, this moment offers a glimmer of hope. After years of unanswered questions and speculation, there is renewed confidence that the truth will finally emerge. Not only about Murphy, but also about other women whose deaths or disappearances remain shrouded in mystery. The entertainment industry, long criticized for its culture of secrecy and silence, is now under intense public and legal scrutiny, demanding accountability from those who have wielded power unchecked. The fight for truth amid shadows of power. Terrence Howard's courageous revelations about Brittany Murphy's death and the alleged pneumonia cover-up have broken through a wall of silence, exposing painful and unsettling truths. Beneath Hollywood's glittering surface lies a darker reality, one where voices can be muted through fear, coercion, and deception, and where the vulnerable are often sacrificed to protect the powerful. As the trial against Sean "Diddy" Combs continues, Howard's testimony serves as a stark reminder of what is at stake. The pursuit of justice, not just for a single victim, but for countless others who remain hidden in the shadows. It underscores the urgent need to dismantle systems of abuse that thrive in secrecy, and to ensure that the truth can no longer be buried. While the road ahead remains difficult and uncertain, the bravery of whistleblowers like Howard signals a turning point. Their courage lights the way forward, gradually peeling back layers of darkness and corruption. In this relentless pursuit of truth and accountability, there is hope that healing and justice will ultimately prevail.